only the strongest, brightest, and best equipped stand a chance in nature's relentless battle. Survival demands an edge, a skill, or talent unmatched and unexpected. Who are the elite core of the animal world, born for action and gifted by nature with super senses? Follow as we search out the best soldiers in their class, shaped by millions of years of evolution. To qualify for Special Forces. Coast of North America lurks an ancient destroyer, 400 years in the making. A killer who's had plenty of time to get it right. Great White Shark. An elite core out of more than 500 species of sharks, the 2,300-kilogram great white is legendary for his ferocity. This Special Forces submariner devotes 70% of his brain to sniffing out his next meal. His nostrils, specialized only for sniffing and not for breathing, funnel smells to the largest olfactory organ of any true shark. The nostrils, located beneath his snout, lead to a part of the brain called the olfactory bulb. Great whites and elite core can detect one drop of blood in 100 liters of water and can sense even tiny amounts of blood from a long way off. He already smells dinner on the table, even from 5 kilometers away. And that's bad news for one unlucky gray seal. She escaped some sort of attack already. But her bleeding wound has marked her for death. As the shark swims, he moves his head side to side, pushing water into his nose. When the odor of blood reaches one nostril before the other, he knows that's the direction to head. These elite warriors have a one-way olfactory organ. By inhaling through one opening while exhaling through the other, these special forces never lose track of the scent they've locked onto. As he nears his target, the great white speeds up to 24 kilometers per hour thanks to his torpedo shape and powerful tail. He'll usually strike suddenly from below. But the injured seal makes an easy meal. Guided by his nose till the final moment, he digs in with a bite like 300 serrated steak knives. The waters of the Galapagos are a special forces gathering ground. The concentration of prey drives the elite core of sharks into a feeding frenzy, an insane feast where it pays to be ferocious. And among the most ferocious are the tiger sharks. Along with the great whites, tiger sharks have the biggest olfactory organs of their family. These special forces use that sense of smell for hunting and also defense. One of the few predators that dares to engage with the tiger shark is coming: killer whales. Working together, this elite corps targets a more convenient reef shark. But just one. Sharks can recognize an animal by the smell of its blood, and the bleeding shark warns his comrades that it's time to retreat. The shark's keen sense of smell, honed over millions of years, has helped make these fish super predators and assures their elite position at the top of the food chain. Out of the depths of the ocean and into the endless skies. An expedition to the outposts of Europe reveals one of the animal kingdom's greatest covert surveillance experts, part of an elite corps that lives everywhere except the poles. Who else but the barn owl? She can pluck small rodents entirely hidden in the grass, thanks to her super sense of hearing. Along with her ears, her whole face is fine-tuned for eavesdropping on the woodland. The ear openings are on her face, just behind the eyes. Each has a different shape, and one sits higher than the other, for reconnaissance above and below. With such acute hearing, she doesn't even need to see when she hunts. Like a drone, she sweeps the ground, maybe 3 meters high, listening for the telltale sounds of her prey. Until she hears a rodent. Now it's just quick hover and strike. In true Special Forces fashion, she's silent and efficient, nailing her target more often than not. She takes the dead prey from behind enemy lines out of sight of any raptors that prey on barn owls. Her ears, tuned to the high-frequency squeaks and rustling of rodents and shrews, filter out extraneous noise. She swallows her prey whole, skin, bones, and all, and it's time for another hunt. When night falls, many animals must stop hunting, but not the Special Forces barn owl. An elite soldier, guided by her hearing, she prefers to hunt in the dark. Tiny feathers cover the owl's ear openings, and flaps of skin between the ear and the eye act as ear lids, protecting her from loud noises. You might say barn owls see the landscape with their ears. Sound creates a memory map, and even if this elite corps gets distracted, they can head right back to where they heard their prey. A tuna's line of vision is directed forward and upward. Some species can discern subtle shades of blue, exposing their prey against the ocean background. Their vision is so sharp, they can distinguish objects the size of a hen's egg from a distance of 30 meters. Being partially warm-blooded, this elite corps can live and hunt almost anywhere. and can tolerate extreme changes in water temperature from 27 Celsius down to 8 Celsius. Some can dive 1.5 kilometers deep. The big-eyed tuna, with a light concentrating layer of cells like glowing cat's eyes, can see in near total darkness. Their adaptability and sophisticated eyesight make tuna some of the ocean's most successful hunters. While tunas keep their sniper eyes on the ocean, another elite corps patrols the mainland. On the dry African savanna, the planet's largest land creatures have found a different way to keep in touch as they travel enormous distances. These are the African elephants. Mobilized, these special forces can travel around 12 kilometers a day on their 3,500-kilometer migration, and their story is a touching one. Built like tanks at up to 4 meters tall and 7 tons, these elite powerhouses rely on their highly developed but gentle sense of touch for gripping things and also to communicate. It's almost all about their trunks, the Swiss Army knife of the animal kingdom. Elephants experience most of their world through this flexible, muscular, yet sensitive organ. The trunk is the elephant equivalent of our nose, fused with the upper lip, but so much more. It contains some of the most sensitive tissue in the animal world. With its trunk, an elephant performs most of the day's missions, from eating to socializing. The trunk's limberness and dexterity rival our own hands. An elephant's trunk contains around 100,000 muscles divided into 6 major groups. By comparison, the entire human body only has 639 muscles. Sensitive nerves can perceive differences in the width of grooves as thin as a business card. The matriarch, the eldest and most experienced female, leads this elite corps to the waterhole where they'll put their trunks to good use. On average, an elephant drinks more than a bathtub's worth of water a day. In one slurp, they can suck up about 4 liters of water in their trunk and pour it into their mouth. This delicate motion takes practice. It might take months for a baby elephant to learn how to operate his trunk, but there's always an adult happy to help the cadet. This gentle manipulation also increases social bonds among these special forces. Journey continues. The herd has to coordinate its maneuvers, and it does that not by sound, but touch. Soft pads on the elephant's feet and tissue in the trunk can detect subtle vibrations through the ground. The vibrations travel through their skeleton to the inner ear. Using infrasound, too low for us to hear, the herd can communicate from as far as 10 kilometers, telling each member of their elite corps where to find food or helping locate a member that wandered off. But for all its sensitivity, that delicate trunk is also a power tool. A bull elephant can lift around 270 kilograms, which is useful when the trees are just too tall. The elephants simply tear them down to access the tasty leaves. Constantly in touch, using one of the strongest and most sensitive appendages in the animal kingdom, elephants are the super troopers of the savannah. On the other side of the world, in similarly dry environment, lives an agile and elite corps, of assassins. All 36 species make camp in the deserts, semi-deserts, or prairies of North America and into South America. Slithering through this habitat is the rattlesnake. The very sound of it strikes terror, a warning shot before a venomous bite. But the death strike is the end of their mission. What's truly remarkable is how these special forces track their prey using taste and smell. As he serpentines across the desert, he constantly flicks his tongue. It's not just for show. He's on a fact-finding mission, collecting chemical signatures from the air. Molecules stick to his tongue, which he touches to the Jacobson's organ above his palate. The organ, like a field chemistry lab, analyzes the chemical signature. The longer the tines of a snake's tongue, the more he relies on smell. If the scent of prey is stronger on one tine than the other, he knows which direction to head. Rattlesnakes pick up scent molecules in the Jacobson's organ, which transmits an impulse from the tongue to the region of the snake's brain that identifies smells. But snakes can also smell conventionally with their nostrils. So he has two separate ways of accomplishing his prey-finding mission. The snake has picked up the scent of a kangaroo rat. Target locked. He will track her wherever she goes, waiting for the sun to go down. Once he bites and injects the venom, he lets go so the victim can scratch or bite him. It looks like the prey escaped, but the venom's doing its slow work and the mission's not aborted. The rattlesnake remains on his target's scent trail and will collect it when it dies. Some of this elite rattler corps can track their prey for more than 60 minutes. That's what qualifies this slithery tracker for membership in the Animal Special Forces. Once locked on, he'll complete his mission, thanks to his flicking tongue and the super senses of taste and smell. Leaving the parched dry lands of the American continent, we find our next Special Forces candidates in more green, wooded areas.